my name is... Oh. Wait, that's right, it's still August when we're filming this, so no one's here in the studio. Also, we're between seasons. Huh. Ghostbusters! Ghostbusters is a movie from 1984 directed by Ivan Reitman and stars... Wait, no. Ghostbusters is a movie released 2016 by Paul Feig. I don't get it. Why do you guys want me to do this one so badly? I've said 10 million times on Twitter, I'm not doing it. It's terrible, and Sony has decided to pull the feminism card right out of their ass. If your movie is terrible, then your movie is terrible. It's not because I'm a sexist. So, guess that review is off the table. But now I'm here and I have nothing to do. So, you know what? Tell you what. I'm gonna talk about the things that I wanted to talk about during the last season of Hunter Reviews. Or things that you wanted me to talk about. Or things that nobody wanted me to talk about. I call it the Tidbits episode.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is the stuff that's getting to me lately in the middle.
These aren't gonna be in any particular order because I consider everything to drive me nuts equally. Some of these are even movies that I probably have enough material to do a full review on. But in case I don't, I'm doing this here right now. So, without further ado, here's 20 things that drive me nuts in movies.
This is the stuff
Number
that drives me
1.
crazy. This is the stuff.
Alright, this one comes from B-Movie. Now, I probably have more than enough material to do a full review of B-Movie on its own. And if I were to do this in order of how much it drives me crazy, this would probably be the top of the list. But there's a scene in this movie where Jerry Seinfeld bee has to go over to a honey plantation, and these two beekeepers are taking their jobs way too seriously.
Hey, check out the new smoker.
Oh, sweet. That's the one you want.
The Thomas 3000. Smoker? 90 puffs a minute, semi-automatic. Twice the nicotine, all the tar. They make the honey, and we make the money.
They make the honey and we make the money?
Why do I get the feeling that they get off to what they do for a living? Sure, the movies try to paint these guys as the bad people of the movie, but this isn't how you do it! Nobody talks like that, trust me. Again, probably have enough material in this movie to review it, but just in case I don't, this is here. And quite frankly, I think Beekeepers of America need a nice tall glass of calm down juice.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 2.
This is the stuff.
This one comes from Inception. Now, in addition to a movie that should have probably never been made, but I can't find enough wrong with it to actually do a review, why is this movie so keen on establishing the rules of dreams? That's stupid, considering that it's the human psyche and you can do whatever you want. And I don't mean they put like 2 or 3 rules out there, no. They put a lot of rules out there and basically write themselves into a corner. And despite the fact that they put that handicap in place, this movie got, oh, so much praise. And I know that's because you were comparing it to terrible things that were out at the time, but you don't know any better, okay? You people don't know any better. Critics don't know any better. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that movie critics were complete dumbasses. Tell you what, if I ever need your help making a fantastic rum and coke, I'll be sure to call you guys up. Hi guys, Hunter here. Regarding the rum and coke, couldn't be more lost.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 3.
This is the stuff.
You remember that really terrible Speed Racer movie remake? Yeah, probably have enough material to review this movie on its own, but in case I don't, there was one scene in this movie where they just start doing karate, and there was no explanation as to why they know karate, or why they're even doing karate. I'm not even sure it's karate, but it's some form of hand-to-hand combat that you need to go through some form of school in order to do. Listen, I know you two directed the Matrix movies, but come on! Karate takes all this training and discipline, and I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use it on other people. I think that's like half the point. So yeah, go Speed Racer, go. Yeah, more like no Speed Racer, no, you're not supposed to do that, I think. I don't know.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 4. Interstellar was a good movie. Let me stress that a little bit. Interstellar was a good movie. And we've already have a review of this movie up. So if you want like my full opinion on the movie, go check out that video. Anyway, there's a bit in this movie that centers around what the characters in the movie call a ghost. And this bit drives me crazy. Why does it drive me crazy? Because at the end of the movie, the main female character jumps to an unnatural conclusion that, oh, Dad's the ghost. And it drives me crazy! There's no evidence to point to that! You're a woman of science, for God's sake! Shouldn't you, like, come to some kind of conclusion or something before you just jump to that one? Or maybe do a bit of research as to why this bookcase is the focal point between this black hole and your room or something? Or here's a better idea. Figure out why your dad is transcending time and space. Now, I keep hearing rumors that they're gonna be making an Interstellar 2, and if they do, and we don't get explanations as to why all of these events occurred, I'm gonna be very upset.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 5. You remember Zootopia? Yes, of course you remember Zootopia. Chances are you loved it. And good news, I loved it. And so you'll be happy to know that this particular rant isn't on Zootopia at all. But this is the opening I have for this particular bit of my rant for the movie I do have a beef with. Why Zootopia? Because Zootopia had a particular message that racism was bad and we should treat each other equally. They didn't state that right out, but that was the basic premise of it. And either way, it was a really good message, and I think that everyone should learn from it. Angry Birds seems to be the complete opposite. And this is the movie I have a major beef with. The message in Angry Birds is, oh no, racism's good, pigs are bad, kill all of them. And that even isn't the problem I have with this movie. Why did this movie get ridiculous amounts of praise? It didn't deserve any praise. It's boring, it's uncreative, the whole war thing doesn't come in until the actual end of the movie, which, let's face it, is what most of the audience was there for anyway. I suppose I'm just angry because certain critics would give the Ratchet & Clank movie an absolute 0 and give this movie a 10 out of 10. Which, this just goes back to me saying that critics are stupid. So yeah, thanks to those guys, you're making us all look bad! Stop throwing praise at movies that don't deserve it. This movie doesn't deserve it. And that is my whole beef with it, is that I don't see why people are saying it's so damn good. I have more than enough to review that movie, and I probably will.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is
Number
the
6.
stuff.
Nobody asked for Home Alone 5. The world didn't need Home Alone 5. People decided to make Home Alone 5, and then everyone hated Home Alone 5. You'd think that'd be it, right? Yeah, no. My question is, why is the one and only Malcolm McDowell in Home Alone 5? The Malcolm McDowell! Why is he in Home Alone 5? Of all of the goddamn big-name appearances in crappy movies, this one baffles me the most. Why do really big-name actors keep appearing in these terrible movies? For fuck's sake! Mr. McDowell, you worked with Stanley Kubrick and you were in Clockwork Orange. You slap those two things on a resume, you can pretty much get any role you want. And you decided to put yourself in Home Alone 5. Yeah, no, okay.
It's time to stop!
But yeah. Home Alone 5's a shitty movie, and I have more than enough material to review the whole thing, and quite frankly, I think he should be embarrassed that Malcolm McDowell is in this movie. And honestly, if they could afford to get Malcolm McDowell in this movie, I'm pretty sure that's where all the budget went. That, or they're not paying him enough. Or he's not asking for enough. Either way, Hollywood actors should have more respect for their damn careers.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy. This is
Number 7. Oh good golly gosh. Why do people like Boba Fett so much? This guy hardly has any screen time in either of the movies that he's actually in. He's like, oh, but Hunter, he's so cool, he's got a jetpack, he's a bounty hunter. Yeah, no. Luke Skywalker cuts his gun in half, and then Han just hits him with like a stick thing and his jetpack malfunctions and he falls down and dies all pathetically. This crap is unfolding before your very eyes on screen. Oh, but please, no. Tell me how he's completely redeemed by the over-glorified fan fiction that is the Star Wars Expanded Universe. And even worse still, who the fuck is IG-88? I had to look up Robot Bounty Hunter to remember the name because he's so damn forgettable. Yet he has half as large a fan base as Boba Fett. This guy's literally on screen for a few seconds, I think. If even. Why the hell do people obsess over these two? I have no idea. It's nothing like those other 6, trust me. But that's besides the point. Why is this a thing? I would also point out, Han was partly blind when this shit happened and Boba Fett died. So he got his ass handed to him by a partly blind guy. And that blind guy later got slashed in half by Kylo Ren. At least I think he was slashed in half. Either way, he died.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 8.
This is the stuff.
I think most people can agree that Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull isn't exactly anyone's favorite Indiana Jones movie. But I'm not mad about the aliens or the fact that Harrison Ford is getting too old for this. And no, I'm not even mad that he survives a nuclear explosion in a refrigerator. I am mad because there is an entire town out in the middle of the desert built with working electricity, cable TV, and running water so that they could blow it the hell up. Not to mention fully furnished interiors, including plants and canned goods. Why is this much attention to detail put into a town that's going to explode? And furthermore, I'm pretty sure those cars are real too. They even fully stocked the damn refrigerator because he has to pull all this crap out before he can get in. And then we watch as this very good representation of urban America in the 1950s explodes before our very eyes. Why is this much detail put in? It doesn't need to be put in. You're going to blow it up. Oh boy, that one's been weighing on my chest for a while now. You have no idea how much this drives me crazy. And quite frankly, 2 things. 1, I think the contractor for this town had a very interesting idea of something that needed to be blown up. And 2, Harrison Ford is getting too old for this.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 9.
This is the stuff.
Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Yes, this is a rant on Thomas and the Magic Railroad now. What is with the scene where What's-Her-Face is getting on the train and she's actually taking the dog's advice as to what train to get on? She's having an intense conversation with this dog as to what train to get on. And then stupid her heeds the dog's advice. There's no explanation as to how, and there's no explanation as to why. But she doesn't stop there. A couple scenes later, she doesn't know what the name of a station means.
Shining time? What does that mean? Do you want me to get...
Hey, I have a better idea. Why don't you not listen to the damn dog and maybe, just maybe, you'll get where you're supposed to go.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
So, what have we learned? Oh, I don't know. Maybe don't trust dogs with what train you're supposed to get on. I think there's a lesson for all of us.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 10.
This is the stuff.
I think we can all agree that Apollo 18 was more like Attack of the Moonrock Spiders, and we could also agree that pretty much no one liked this movie. But there's one bit in this movie I completely despise, and it's the bit where he's using this blinking flashlight to go into a dark crater. Why does the flashlight blink? You are only using this to set up a jump scare, and there is no scientific reason as to why you need to use a blinking flashlight that blinks for half a second and then goes off and has to recharge. I went searching the internet for reasoning behind this particular flashlight, and I couldn't find any of it. Even NASA came out and said, yeah, no, this thing is bullshit. They use it as an extremely lazy means of setting up a jump scare, and it makes no sense. So, in a way, I guess I can relate to the whole damn movie, because the people who made this movie claim they found the footage. That's another can of worms that I'm not gonna get into right now, though. And the reason I say that is because an Apollo 18 full review is actually very likely. I've been wanting to take a stab at that terrible thing for years. And if someone from NASA is listening to this review, which is unlikely, but take my advice as a film critic. When humanity eventually does go back to the moon, I'm fairly certain you guys aren't gonna find moonrock spiders up there. Just saying.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 11.
This is the stuff.
Why is it an all-female Ghostbusters cast? Has anyone actually just come out and asked whose idea that was? I am not a sexist, and I am all for equal rights. In fact, over here, over half of the population of Equestria is of the female variety. So I'm completely all for equal rights and down with sexism. But whose executive decision was it that this needs to be an all-female Ghostbusters cast? I wouldn't mind this so much and wouldn't even put it on the list if Sony hadn't pulled the feminism rant. But because they have, they've basically backed reviewers into a corner. Either you like the movie and say that it's good, otherwise, you're a sexist. That's what they're going with. That's their defense, people. Don't like the Ghostbusters movie? Well then, we can label you as a sexist. Someone's gonna get fired over this, and I hope someone already has gotten fired over this. Either way, whoever was directing it, this Paul Feig guy, he probably needs to get fired. And also, if it were my executive decision, this movie never would have actually gotten made. And while we're on that note, let me just bring up 11.5. Stop remaking movies! Gah!
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 12.
This is the stuff.
I'm gonna be that guy. If Gandalf can fly the eagles, why can't they fly them all the way to Mount Doom? It seems like it would save them a hell of a lot of trouble. Not to mention, they wouldn't have had to run all the way there. Now, I wouldn't have even put this on my list if not for one thing. This came back. If Gandalf could fly the eagles, why can't they fly them all the way to the mountains so we can kill Smaug and save us a movie and a half? I keep hearing the reason is because the eagles are assholes, but you honestly, truly expect me to believe that that's the actual canon reason as to why they can't do that. I'm not believing that for a second. And before you guys start screaming, oh, but Hunter, it's about the quest. Yeah, well, I think the fate of the world and everything, I think that takes priority over the so-called quest. Now, I know that this question has been asked by 10 million other people, but I feel that we actually need a canon answer as to why we can't just fly the eagles to our overall destination and save us 2 or 3 movies. Of course, that's just coming from me, someone who owns all 3 Lord of the Rings movie box set DVDs with the extended cut.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 13.
This is the stuff.
Let me start out by saying I love this movie. To me, this is one of the best damn book adaptations ever made. But there's one thing in Holes that drives me absolutely crazy. So there's one bit in this movie where What's-His-Face goes and makes a deal with a witch. He has to carry this pig up a mountain, and in exchange, at the end, he has to carry her up the mountain so that she can drink from a river or something. I don't know, if that's the basic plot of it. Point is, he doesn't carry the person up the mountain, and he goes to, quote, America. This is where I'm confused. Were they not already in America? It's even more confusing to me because this whole damn lake dries up. The only explanation I could think is that they're somewhere on the Mexican border. Now, before I go further, again, I love this movie. Love this movie, love it to bits. Fantastic film. But it comes back later. Because Stanley's carrying What's-His-Face, Hector, up the mountain later in the movie. And through an interesting turn of events, actually ends up lifting the curse on his family that's been haunting him throughout this whole movie. So, I'm confused. Where the fuck are they? I thought they were in America. Apparently that's not the case. Because What's-His-Face had to cross some ocean to get to the actual America. I don't know where this is, but I am just oh so confused. But I love this movie, so yeah.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number
This is
14.
the stuff.
Happy Feet is a sick, putrid, festering fuckface of a movie, and humanity should be embarrassed that it even exists. I don't think there's one thing in this movie that makes me happy to watch it. And that's so much to the point that I'm not even using one of the songs from the soundtrack. But you wanna know what drives me so damn crazy in this movie? How does, now just hear me out, how does a whole damn colony of emperor penguins lead humanity to figure out that, oh, we should stop fishing in Antarctica? Clearly the dancing is telling us that the fishing in Antarctica is bad. It's not like, oh, we found a way to communicate with them, oh, or we had them draw a pretty picture. No, dancing penguins. That's the thing telling us that fishing in Antarctica is terrible. Where did you pull that out of? How'd you figure this out? Whose dumb idea was it? You know, I got a hypothesis for you, which is more than what I think you guys came up with. My hypothesis is that maybe the penguins like dancing because they like dancing. I don't think that has anything to do with fishing at all. So, whoever came to the conclusion that humans should stop fishing in the Arctic, I'm pretty sure they need to fire his ass because he's clearly high on something.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number
This is
15.
the stuff.
Holy crap, I'm picking on a Clint Eastwood film. Space Cowboys. You know, Space Cowboys with Tommy Lee Jones, James Cromwell, James Garner, Jay Leno. A lot of J's in there. Anyway, I'm not saying it like that because I think you're an idiot. I'm saying a lot of people don't remember this movie. Now, I'm not mad about this movie. In fact, I kinda like it. I'm not even mad that there's a bunch of old guys hanging out on board the space shuttle, which is weird and confusing. Because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be old. That's like astronaut qualification number 1. I'm annoyed because there's a scene in this movie where this guy takes a bunch of Soviet nuclear missiles, flies them off into space on this giant satellite thing, and flies it all the way to the moon. No, I'm serious. He takes them and flies them all the way to the moon. Now, I'd hate to rain on Clint Eastwood's parade, but I've played enough Kerbal Space Program to be able to say with confidence it's next to impossible to blind shot the moon.
To the moon, though!
I wouldn't mind it so much. I really wouldn't. I would love to believe that this guy blindshotted the moon if he wasn't actually shooting it directly at the moon. No, that's what he did. That's actually what he did. And if he were to shoot it directly at the moon, in order to hit the moon, it would have required a ridiculous amount of Delta V. Yeah, no, I really gotta call bullshit on this one. This is just too much. This one's a bit too much for me. And honestly, if he were to straight shot the moon like that, the spacesuit wouldn't have been intact at all. And while I'm on the topic of people being intact, jumping out of a space shuttle while it's landing is definitely a good idea. No, I'm serious. They jump out of a space shuttle while it's landing in this movie, which just baffles me. It just baffles me why they're doing this. Sorry, Clint Eastwood. Love your films, but maybe next time you want to do a little research.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 16.
This is the stuff.
I'd apologize in advance, but today no one is safe from my wrath. Not even you, Mamoru Hosoda. I'm super duper sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, by the way. And let me be clear, Summer Wars is probably in my top 30 films of all time. Which is no small feat considering that I hate everything. We even streamed this movie recently. It's that good. Then, there's that one thing. That one thing that drives me nuts. It was in all of these other movies, there's one in this one too. So a ways into this movie, the grandmother dies. I'm bringing this up because it's important to what I have wrong with it. Then they bring in a supercomputer. One of the family members owns a computer store and I guess they sell supercomputers. Okay, that's fine. And they keep it cool by surrounding it with giant pillars of ice. I'm not sure, but okay. So they go in, they do the whole damn fight, but then the whole plan goes to shit because someone took all the damn ice away! So you're sitting there asking yourself, why? Why would someone in their right mind go and do that in a movie with a plot such as this? Because what's-his-face, who's been a dick throughout the whole movie, by the way, wanted to surround the dead grandmother with all the ice because it was hot outside. First of all, why? Second, does she care? I honestly don't think that your dead grandmother cares about the state of the weather right now. Oh my god. Also, I still don't know how ice is supposed to help with this. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually gonna help at all. I don't know how you kept the supercomputer cool with this. But don't worry, they punched that guy in the face, like, really bad. And the asshole deserved it. But regardless, I don't think ice works that way. And honestly, that's just me. I might need to do research on it. I'll get back to you.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 17. Before I get into this one, shout out to Gene Wilder. You're a funny man and you will be missed. And you'll be happy to know that my rant isn't even on the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's this mess. So, am I the only one that feels like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from 2005 just spat all over everything that the original one once was? It can't just be me. I feel it was an absolute insult. But you probably figured out that that's not my problem with the movie. If I wanted to insult the movie itself, I'd review it. What was the scene with the glass elevator and they go to this big giant room where all of the Oompa Loompas just are shooting guns all over the place and there are fireworks going off and it's just this great big enormous mess and they're just shooting things. This whole room is a shooting gallery. What is with the room with the shooting gallery and the Chocolate Factory? What the fuck is going on? Is Willy Wonka training Oompa Loompas on the side to operate anti-aircraft guns for World War II? Johnny Depp doesn't even give an explanation as to what the room is for. He just stands there silently. Actually, he's standing there having a flashback, but I want an explanation as to what's going on around you right now, Mr. Wonka. I need an explanation as to why the Oompa Loompas are operating candy-powered anti-aircraft guns. And if I don't get an answer within my lifetime, I will go insane, and I will hunt somebody from beyond.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 18.
This is the stuff.
I think 2005 was a bad year for me in movies. Why? Because I hate, despise, absolutely cannot stand the movie Corpse Bride. Nightmare Before Christmas was great, but stop praising Tim Burton. This movie is creepy, it's unappealing looking, everybody already looks like they're dead or suffering from starvation. Even the people who aren't dead yet. And it's this whole big movie about the magic of marriage and everything, but marriage is horrible, everybody knows that. Regardless, I'm not here for that. How did What's-Her-Face the bitch, the dead one, know about his dead dog? There's no way that she could have known about his dead dog. This is gonna bother me for the rest of time, no matter what you say or do to try and convince me that she could have known about his dead dog. I'm sorry, these two met within a 24-hour time period, and she already knows about his dead dog. She didn't ask about the dead dog, she didn't know about the dead dog, she didn't even make an inquiry about the dead dog. So yeah, buddy, hold on to this bitch. She's apparently psychic or something. If you leave her, she might kill you with her mind in your sleep. I've had it with people praising Tim Burton for being this unworldly genius. And before you people ask, no, Frankenweenie was not a good movie. Oh no, my opinions. People don't agree with them. I can see the comments flooding down there now.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 19.
This is the stuff.
How dare you, number 19? How dare you? The Core was a movie in 2003 that sparked the biggest controversy ever. So big that laws were passed stating that a movie can never be this scientifically inaccurate ever again. Okay, maybe not the biggest controversy, but still, that's something. Alright, bear with me. This one requires a bit of explanation. The core of the Earth stopped spinning, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna take a nuke to create a giant shockwave that's gonna get it spinning again. They're gonna use a nuke for this. Okay, we're humans, let's blow everything up. Well, the thing is, the initial plan of one nuke doesn't work, so they have to use a whole bunch of nukes placed all over the place. And somehow, that's gonna work. But here's another problem. The ship that they're in, which is divided into 6 sections, isn't programmed to eject undamaged compartments, which they need them undamaged because if they send them out now, they'll be crushed by pressure. Oh, by the way, if you think this nuke plan is stupid, get this. Plan B is to shoot a giant laser at it. So, shockwaves are probably the best way to go in this situation. We're being stupid today. Anyway, they have a plan to get the ship to eject all their undamaged compartments, but here's the thing. They have to get to the master gear, but where's the master gear? Oh, it's in the crawl space that they used to get out of the ship, which is now about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, what the hell is it doing there?
I built the ship in 3 damn months. I didn't think I'd be intentionally sabotaging it. I'm sorry.
Wait, that's your reason as to why that's your That's the dumbest fucking reasoning I have ever heard for a design flaw in your goddamn lava spaceship. So why isn't there just a button to do this? Holy crap! This doesn't end well for the guy either. The guy dies. In fact, most of the cast die. They don't need to die either. And I think there's a number of pointless deaths in this movie. This is probably the biggest one. He could have lived. But no, because of your big stupid design flaw, you sentenced him to a great big lava-filled death. And I will hand it to this movie. At least they didn't do the stereotype where the black guy dies first. This guy's like the third person to die. But all of these little tiny nitpicks don't even compare to number 20. And now that I think about it, number 20 probably would be the top of this list.
This is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Number 20.
This is the stuff.
Kingsman: The Secret Service. Oh, how dare this movie. Hunter, what was wrong with this movie? I hear you ask. Why was it so terrible? Why did you hate it? Because this movie cost us a whole damn review. We were halfway into the review for this when we had to scrap the whole thing and destroy all of our notes because we had to completely turn around our opinion of the review and then lost all interest in reviewing it. So there's the scene in this damn movie where they set off all of the chips that this guy has implanted in everyone's heads. Oh yeah, great. We saved the world because of this. No! No, you dumbasses! Everyone's heads are exploding! In a spectacular show of special effects, you blow up everyone's head, including everyone who's capable of actually running the damn planet! Literally, all of the world leaders are now dead! All of them! How does this get us along the track of saving the world? How does this actually help anything for that matter? This isn't a spectacular show of fireworks. Everyone capable of running the planet is now dead. Holy celestial, wow. Oh my god. Wow. That one's the biggest. That one is the biggest. Now, they've already confirmed a second Kingsman movie for 2017, and if we don't get an explanation as to what they're gonna do after this, and why, and what they're gonna do in response to the fact that everyone's head exploded, a couple more heads are gonna explode. But yeah, that's 20 things that drive me absolutely insane in movies. And now I'm contractually obligated to tell you to be on the lookout for Hunter Reviews Season 2, set to kick off during Oktoberfest this year. Which, that's only a few weeks away. So, pretty awesome. My name is Hunter, and this has been a Hunter Review. Whew! Good to get that off my chest.